Hi friends, and welcome to Gilded Loop. My name is Matt, and today I am bringing to you a yarn review. I promised everyone during my Red Heart / Yarnspirations haul that I would be bringing you a yarn review on the Red Heart Super Easy Stripes, and it's exactly what this is. So stay tuned. So we're going to be going over lots of helpful information, of course, including full swatches. Now, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 colors that are variegated and a solid. I've worked up the entire skeins on all of them, except for the solid, which you'll see in a minute. I'll explain. The Super Easy Stripes is touted being great for beginners, okay? And most of the patterns that they have available or kind of show, or even what's on the yarn band, is scarves. So that was my inspiration here. So you'll see all of my swatches today are scarves, or the beginning of a scarf. I have one full scarf, and the rest of the swatches are like half of a scarf. The reason for that is because each skein works about half of a scarf. So if you're wanting to do a scarf, all you need is 2 skeins of this Red Heart Super Easy Stripes in whatever color that you desire, and you will absolutely be able to make a scarf in, even for a slow crocheter, a few hours, maybe 2-3 hours, you'll have a scarf. If you're a fast crocheter, you might be able to get it done in like an hour and a half. But even if you're a slow crocheter, you can get a whole scarf done in 3 hours. So if you're looking for something to give someone a handmade gift that you think that they would really love, and you don't have a whole lot of time to devote to it, this Super Easy Stripes is good. So this is what's left of my solid skein. Okay, this is Aran. I really like the Super Easy Stripes because it's extremely soft. It's very cushy and soft. This is not Super Saver. This is, it's made by Red Heart, but it's not Super Saver. So you are not going to have any roughness at all. These are super soft. That's why I think that they make fantastic scarves. So let's go ahead and take a look at some of the different colorways. So we'll start with this one here, which is actually one of my favorites. So this first one that I have that I'm going to show you is Seaside Breeze, and I will go ahead and insert pictures of what the full skein looks like. I used a different stitch pattern for every one that I'm going to be showing you today. So this is Seaside Breeze, and this is your standard C2C clusters. I think it's beautiful. That's that way and this way. And I will go ahead and insert a close-up here. All right, so we have Seaside Breeze, one of my favorites. Navy. Now, it's very much of like a stone-washed look. I'll zoom up here so you can see how it's like, just like, almost like, it's like washed look. I think they all kind of have a little bit of that in it. See? So we have navy, it's like baby blue, navy, not quite as dark as a normal peacock color, but more like almost halfway between like a country blue and a peacock. And then mint and baby blue. If you got someone who loves blue, this is the one. You see what I was talking about? I just love the C2C because this angled pattern looks really nice. And even though this color stopped dead in the middle of the row kind of hides it a little bit. It's not as noticeable. Like I have one cluster here, which was in that row. It's not as noticeable. It doesn't stand out that much. I will be finishing this one and keeping it because I really love it. I think that the standard C2C pattern is beautiful in this. And I would highly recommend that because the stripes going on the diagonal look great. I do have some of these swatches going on the diagonal and some going straight, so you can kind of see the difference. This next one that we're going to do is Raspberry Blush. This Raspberry Blush, I didn't know how I was going to feel about it, but I really, really liked it. So this is Raspberry Blush. This is the first half of it, and this is not a diagonal pattern, it's a straight pattern. This is the second half of it. I know this is a really wide sample here. Hopefully I'm able to get most of it in the viewfinder. And I'll show you a close-up on my close-up table in a minute. But yeah, I think it's beautiful. This stitch pattern that I used is the drop double. And I have a recent video that demonstrates the drop double for you. But I think it's great. And it's just got this one bright color pop in here, but all of the other colors are really just like berry style colors, purples and maroons. But yeah, I think it's really nice. It would make a really nice scarf. So I approve of that one. Okay. And we'll go ahead and take a look at the close-up here. Raspberry Blush. All the berry colors. These four repeated right next to each other. And then we have this, and that's where I started. So it starts with this in the middle. I'm a middle pool. So this middle, then next, then next, then next, then next, then next. And again, this is the drop double. I think it's very pretty. All right, so this next one is called Shady Grove. As anyone who's been following me on my channel knows I love, 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 love greens. And this is all greens and blues. And she is absolutely stunning. I really hope you can see. This is a C2C granny cluster. So, you know, you've got a little bit of see-through or laciness, but the granny cluster is very nice. By the way, this is extremely warm when you put it around your neck. So even with the holes in it, I think this will still be a really good contender. But just, I love this. Like if I were going to pick a colorway to do for myself, it's this, the greens and blues. You know, mint and peacock and olive and all the colors. All the ones that I love. So that's that one, and I'll insert the close-up. Okay, so we have Shady Grove here. You can really see most of it in frame. So we have mint, peacock, olive, not quite navy, this is more country blue, mint, peacock. Mint, peacock twice, country blue, and olive once. Again, this is the C2C granny clusters, but I think it's gorgeous. And this next one that we're going to go over is Garden Party. This is the one that was such a debacle for me to be able to get from Yarnspirations. I had like 3 or 4 either missing or wrong orders, but they finally got it to me, and I was not disappointed. It's a good one. So, Garden Part, by the way, I wanted to share with you all of these. I used this 8mm or US L11 Susan Bates ergonomic hook for everything that I worked up. So 8mm hook is, in my opinion, is what you should use. And that's what they have suggested on here. This is Garden Party, by the way. On the yarn sleeve, or if you go on Yarnspirations website, they show like a sample here. That is Garden Party. So obviously they think the Garden Party is great as well. The pattern that they have there, it looks like it's literally just double crochet row after row after row after row. Okay, so this is Garden Party. This is a very solid stitch. You can still see a little bit, but it's pretty solid. This stitch is a half double crochet worked into the spaces in between each stitch. So normal half double crochet, you work back into the loops on the top, but I find with chunky yarns, it gives it a little bit more texture if instead of working in the loops, you come down a little bit further and you work in between the stitches. And so that's what I did here. It gives it a nice texture. So there's lots of pretty colors here. The other thing that I'll share with you is this bottom part. I did not color control this at all. The color stopped right where it needed to be. This one stopped right where it needed to be. Right where? Right where? And this one, I was 3 stitches short. Now, I could have frogged a little bit of this and adjusted my tension and probably got it to go exactly where I wanted it to go. So this was, I think I chained 20 and then did chain 20 plus 1 for my turn and the half double crochets throughout. So if you're trying to figure out a pattern that's going to make it to where you pretty much don't have to deal with any color controlling or any like color stopping in the middle of the row or anything like that, I would say stick to the half double crochet. It seemed to work the best for that. And like I said, this one where I just missed the 3 stitches, I could have frogged a couple and did my tension a little bit looser for those, and then it would have worked out. So I'll insert the close-up of this one here. Here we have Garden Party. Really kind of see it all in frame, which is nice. So we have like a flamingo pink color. This is turquoise, that same color, that flamingo pink, almost like a coral. Then turquoise, then like a butter yellow, and then olive. So I like all these colors. I think they go nicely together. And this is Garden Party. Okay, last, but most certainly not least, but probably my least favorite. This is the one that I knew I was going to struggle with the most because such bright colors. But some people love bright colors, so this might be your jive. This is Bonfire. Now, I'm going to preface and just warn you that, tell you, this is a full scarf that I completed. in Bonfire. And I mixed Bonfire with this solid Aran. I wanted to have one to mix with the solid Aran, and I thought that this one with its harsh colors was the best. So we have a full scarf here for Bonfire mixed with the Aran. I don't hate it. It's not bad at all. There are some things that are not my favorite about it, but anyway, let's go ahead and get in with this. But I did this one in the cluster V-stitch. So it's a double crochet cluster V-stitch. So you have double crochet, chain one, double crochet, chain one, double crochet, and you work in that chain one space, which is what makes that V-stitch. I like the cluster V-stitch better. It's a little bit more chunky, and just works out well. I made just a little bit of fringe on the end, but I hate the fringe. I'm probably, before I would give this to anyone, I would most likely go back in with the existing Aran yarn that I have and make the fringe significantly longer. But anyway, so we have, sorry, I'm fumbling with this here. We started with the Aran. It goes to a brown, to Aran, to mustard. And here's my qualm. That's where the browns and the mustards stop, and everything else is orange. So you only have brown and mustard on one side of you, and oranges all through the rest. If you're cool with that, then, and I get it, you started wood, and then you're going into lighting the wood on fire, and then the wood color is changing a little bit. So anyway, so you have brown, mustard, and all these different shades of orange. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. And then, like I said, I broke everything up with the white. And I'll show you the close-up on this. But, yeah, this is a full scarf. And this, so you can see how much that I have left of the Aran. So I would even venture to say you may not need a full 2 skeins. You might be at like a skein and a half. If you want to make a longer scarf or add fringe, that's when you're going to be in that 2 skein category. But you will unequivocally, without a doubt, not go over 2 skeins. So if you order 2 skeins, you're probably going to have a little bit left over at the end. But you're going to be using between 1.5 and 1.75 skeins of this to make a full scarf. I would say 1.75 if you are adding fringe or any decorative something at the end, and 1.5, 1.6, somewhere around there, skeins if you're just going straight and stopping. So again, I'll go ahead and insert here the close-up of this. And take a look at Bonfire here, just a little bit closer. So again, starting with the browns. Into the oranges. Again, this is a full scarf that's made up. Just to give you a little bit of a closer look at the stitches. It's got pretty good stitch definition too. It does have a little bit of a stone-washed look, if you will. Okay. All right, so that's Bonfire. Okay, well, thank you so much for tuning in to watch this tutorial of the Red Heart Super Easy Stripes. I hope that you enjoyed it. Again, this is all of our different skeins that we had. Bonfire, the Sea Breeze, this berry color, all the blues and greens, and then again, Garden Party. So hopefully you enjoyed this tutorial, or not tutorial, but kind of review of this yarn. My final impressions are I would buy this. If you are someone who is really just starting to dabble in crochet, or you know, you have a teenager or a middle schooler age kid who really wants to get to just kind of make their first scarf, this is a really good one to use because it's going to allow them to kind of dabble into the world of making a scarf, but not lose motivation because they'll be able to finish it fairly quickly. It's a pretty affordable yarn. You can get a whole scarf made for less than $20. So I would definitely recommend it. It is a nice soft one. So this stitch pattern is a little bit more firm, so it's a little bit more solid or rigid feeling, but like a stitch pattern like this, super soft. And even this, very soft. So if you're looking for a soft yarn, I would recommend it. Couple things. On the variegated one, there's some sort of coating that they put on this yarn. I think Red Heart does that to a lot of their yarns. Some sort of protective coating. It will wash off in the first wash, but it does make it to where it doesn't glide on your finger as easy as, for example, like a Woolies Thick and Quick or something like that. That glides on your finger really easily, and it's about the same thickness as this. It's not bad. It's just like, it almost gives it like this feeling like the yarn is just slightly damp, but it's not. It's just there's some sort of protective coating on the yarn. It does wash away. It's just when you're crocheting with it, sometimes it just doesn't glide super easy on your finger. It didn't irritate my finger or anything like that. It's just something to make note of. But aside from that, highly recommend, especially for a beginner or for anyone who wants to get something worked up just like super quick. You have some gifts to make. Maybe you have a bunch of gifts to make. Maybe you're making a scarf for all of your grandkids and you want to be able to get it all done real quick. This is a really good one to do. So recommend. Please like, comment, share, subscribe, and tune in for the next review. Thanks for tuning in to Gilded Loop. Have a great day. Bye.